Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. And good morning to you, Mr. Spock. And my name's Sugi Yamagawa. And today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we are back at Table Saw Kun, and we're going to be making a storage rack for my clamps that I got from this magazine that I bought at the Milwaukee Free Public Library. But that's gonna be kind of like one of the themes for a little while is just we're gonna be slowly building things for the French cleat wall. So yeah, but yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, so tea's boiling a little. Sunrise is big. Well, you do what you need to do, Mr. Spock. As for me, I gotta find some materials. So I've got a big bucket of scraps here. And let me look at what I need. So by what? 5 3/4 by. Okay, so the 5 3/4. Look at all that good wood. Yeah, I am actually really fortunate to have good wood for projects. So that's going to be good for one of our pieces. As for our side holders for this, they don't need to be very big. They need to be like an quarter. So we're gonna be cutting all those out of those bad boys. And that's tea water being done. Now, real magic is I'm actually gonna be building this a little bit bigger. So the way these build plans set up now is they have 4 slots for clamps. I need more. I want a little bit more extra storage. I want to be able to store 6 clamps. So we're gonna be making this a bit wider. So build plans call for 9-inch pieces, but I'm gonna need 1-footers. Well, I'm gonna make them a foot wide. So I don't know if I have scrap pieces for it. Because some of these scrap pieces are not quite a foot. Ooh, you're a foot. Oh, sweet. Your foot. That's 1 foot. I also, because I'm building 2 of these guys. Okay, well, you're getting added to that pile. And let's keep on digging. So, because, yeah, I am actually. Get the board stretcher out. Oh man, I hate to break this to you, Mr. Spock, but I can't afford a board stretcher. Not in this economy. Can't use that. Well, probably use pieces off of it. We'll do that. There we go. That'll be a couple of our pieces. And then I think because we're gonna need 4 1-footers, and I don't have any wood. I only had this one from my scrap bucket, so you guys go back, and I'm gonna pour tea because it's Sunday morning. It's too early for beer. But that doesn't mean I can't brew, though. So. You use plans? If it's convenient. I mean. So. Earlier, about a month ago, I went to Milwaukee with a bunch of my friends, and we did a big trip up there. And I had some time, and I was looking for bookstores while I was in like downtown Milwaukee. downtown Milwaukee didn't really have a lot of bookstores. But Milwaukee did have a public library that had a bookstore. So apparently they use... The bookstore exists to, like, offload old books and stuff. Every time I build something, the plans are in my head. I mean, sometimes I do stuff like that. Like, the chisel holder that was built last stream, that was just something I pulled out of my head. But yeah, there's some really fun plans in here that I might do at some point, and I lost my... I had my corner. Here's my corner. But yeah. Now back to the thing. So we're going to be getting our 1-footers out of this pile, and then we're going to be getting our small pieces out of this pile. What are measuring tapes? This is a measuring tape. You gotta measure. Measuring is good. You can't just always build things like most guys build things. I mean, there's definitely projects where you can just throw yourself into it and figure it out as you go along. I mean, honestly, that's pretty not easy. A long string can make things square. Ooh, he goes with the long string route. Well, that's unique. Not my way, though. I stick to my squares, man. I'm a square. I'm basic. I'm not interesting. Very square. Okay. So, since these are offcuts of boards, I have what's the original side, and then I have a cut side. So I'm going to always be measuring off my cut side for this, and I think these are... Wait, is that 3 1/4 or 3 3/4? 3 1/4. We'll come over quarter. Spot. Make a nice little tick mark. Back to the other edge. Off. There we go. That's going to be a piece, actually, though. We could probably cut out another... What's with the radical music, Sugi? What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure it's the regular music. I think actually last time it was a little bit quiet. We'll just bump it a... Oh, well, that might be too much. That might be fine. I'll be saying things about my music, because I like my music. So, and I think I'm just going to actually go through and mark all these guys out. Or we start getting too crazy. Well, before the table saw. Gaggle of beatniks might break out. Oh no. Not a gaggle. Mark. That's a board. But yeah. It's a good day. Pretty good weekend. Except for the fact I drank too much I drank too much yesterday. I drank a lot yesterday, but that's also because I spent the better part of yesterday just never too much. Well, I technically did not actually cross over into too much territory simply because of the fact I don't have a hangover, but it was enough to affect my sleep a little bit. But this is what I was doing all day yesterday, was bottling beer and bottling wine. So I packaged 10 gallons of alcohol. Why the USR anthem so fire? That's beautiful, Suki. Hello and welcome in, Haggle. But yeah, I was just mentioning what I was doing yesterday. This is what I did yesterday. So all the beer, that's all my Kolsch that was brewed 2 weeks ago. And then down here is the blackberry wine I made last year. And I really like it because when I took the cork off that fermenter, holy smokes, the smell of blackberries was strong. Because I actually had more blackberries last year than 2024. 2025 I had so many blackberries, but this year, 2026 is going to be a bad year for blackberries though. Him just now bottling, huh? Yeah, well, the recipes I've seen for blackberry wine call for, like, the process to take, like, 18 months, and I'm like, nah. Granted, that's 18 months including bottle conditioning. Because the 2024 batch of blackberry wine, I bottled that in April. And I have honestly just been... Do you bulk age in glass? If you're talking like doing like a secondary fermentation where you just like let it sit in a glass carboy for, gosh, how long? Because I know I did the primary fermentation in a 5-gallon bucket, because holy smokes, fruit wine will just, you can't put an airlock on it when it's like actively fermenting, because it is aggressive. A prison toilet bowl hooch recipe is easy. Yeah, but then you're at the quality of prison hooch. I kind of want to have something I like enjoy a lot more, and I gotta say, like, I liked last year's, well, the 2024 batch of blackberry wine, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna really like this. But as far as like my fermenting steps and process, I started off primary fermentation in the bucket with a towel over it, because holy smokes, it's aggressive. Yeah, but you can precision fill a jug with just one flush. Okay. But I did first fermentation, 5-gallon bucket. Then I racked it into into a glass carboy, and I think I did the glass carboy for 2 months, and then I racked it again into another glass carboy, and then it just sat in that glass carboy for, let's see, so I would have made it like September, well, end of July maybe. Yeah, end of July. So September, October. So from like end of October, November to now, it stayed in the last round of the glass carboy. Low flow toilets require 2 to 3 flushes. Well, yeah, that's low flow. Shucks, I remember when that was actually a joke on King of the Hill. Yeah, so like just about one wine bottle. Oh dear. But yeah, that was like the big activity. And I also went to Costco yesterday, and I picked up, so Bell's has their Oberon out, so I picked up a 24-pack of the Bell's Oberon, and then they also had a 24-pack of like variety Mexican lagers. They had regular Dos Equis, the Amber Dos Equis, and 2 other brands of cerveza that I did not recognize, but they were good. And that was mostly what I was doing, mostly what I was having as far as like actual like drinking yesterday was that stuff, and also a little bit of Spotted Cow. Good morning, Zerzon. How are you? Hope you're having a good weekend, and now those can go there. We're gonna get ready to do some cutting. And this is actually gonna get kind of exciting. I'm not gonna have a lot of Dos Equis beer is good, yes. Dos Equis was actually one of my first like regular lagers I would just get. Like, it was just a good lager to get. And also, good morning, Dad's Old Shop. I hope you're having a good weekend too. But yeah, I was showing people earlier. This is what I did on Saturday. I spent my entire afternoon on Saturday just bottling beer and bottling wine. And I also drank a lot. They don't sell it anymore in the liquor store? No! Dos Equis is good. Granted, it's just another good lager amongst many good lagers. So, got my Kolsch bottled, and then I bottled the blackberry wine that I made last year. And sounds like a good Saturday. Yeah. I definitely know for a fact I drank too much. Simply because my sleep was terrible last night. I'm not hungover, but I did not get the highest quality of sleep. Okay. I gotta find a power cord. You're useful. Got back from an anime convention last night. I'm still half asleep. Oh man. Okay, so you just had like a full Saturday of fun then. Oh, that's good to hear. Because my miter saw, my miter gauge is just a hair bit out. And I'm truing it up using the edge of the table saw down here. Kid had a mini triathlon yesterday, then played Stellars with the dwarves till 2 a.m. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh no, 2 a.m. I'm too old for that, man. Like once it hits like 11 p.m., I'm like, I'm done. I am done. Perfectly reasonable. And time for power tool noises. That's weird. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not working. Power? Oh, I don't have power. Ah, there we go. Okay. The extension cord was a little loose in the socket. So, we should get power tool noises now. Power tool noises and sawdust. Oh, that's Gonna be a workpiece. I need to store you somewhere. Feeling it, Mr. Krabs. That's what happens when you have too much fun, staying up too late. Kind of the thing I dislike about working with small pieces of wood is like, how do I safely work? Because having my fingers like that is way too close to the blade. This helps, but still not ideal. But the dang things you gotta do to use your off scraps. Hey, my piece sizing is turning out consistent, which is good because that means I measured right. Woohoo! So, that was a little bit off the mark. Let's see how out of the spec we are. That takes the excitement out of using a push thing. Hey, I like safety, man. I like my fingers. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna call that effective scrap bin. No. Honestly, I can probably... Oh, no, that's too close. Honestly, you can get, like... So if you wanted to, like, make, like, small cuts off a piece of wood like this, technically speaking, the miter saw is better. Is your better option there. But I am lazy, and I don't want to get my miter saw out, so... Table saw it is. Wise man once told me to count your fingers before and after. Okay, I'm still working with 10 digits, so that's good. Guy I knew once cut the end of 2 fingers once with the table saw. Yeah. Table saws are dangerous. Very dangerous, so what's gonna happen moving forward is I'm gonna mark a couple of these out, but since these boards are so long, I'm probably gonna be able to make a couple of good cuts with them. Well, like, so I've got my unfinished end here, and then I've got a cut end here. So it'll be easy, because, so for this, if I want 3 1/4 piece of wood, that's easy, because I have all this board out here where I can keep my fingers away from mini blade. And this board's even smaller, which is separation makes the heart grow fonder. Instead of liking your fingers, love them. Oh, dearie. Okay, well, I'm glad that we have such a positive community here. So very positive in terms of embracing risks, which, I mean, I do like embracing risks because, well, risky things are unfortunately funner. Usually funner things. Like, why does the world have to be like that? Why does the fun stuff be the stuff that's, like, the most dangerous, you know? Like, well, okay. But I do like working with the longer boards because they are safer. Right? Like fireworks. Yeah, fireworks. Fireworks are so much fun. Fireworks are fun. Motorcycles are fun. Bicycles are fun. Fire's fun. Like, just like regular fire. Like, all the fun stuff is dangerous stuff. Granted, I just also feel like that's a little bit of natural selection, just wanting to do its thing. Oh. We got ourselves a longer board here. I'm gonna get my piece I foobarred earlier. So that's gonna be 3 1/4. And with that, you over here. See? Look, I can keep my fingers so far away from that blade now. And that's what makes for a good Sunday. It's just good old-fashioned table saw safety. So, those are going to be our side pieces for the clamps. Bring you back to in front of me. Figure out where a foot gets us. Foot puts us right there. And we now have a line. Bring this back. Give myself a little bit of clearance room there. Actually, you know what? We're going to be a little bit extra here. So it's usually best to have the piece that is technically the cutoff, like, or just less material, to this side of the blade, than have the piece that's like more substantial on this side of the blade. Although in the case of this piece that I'm working with right now, it's pretty even. Back a hair. Well, actually, that's up. That goes back to that is now in scrap bucket. That's a work piece. So we're two out of 4. Now let's see if we can get 2 out of this. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah. It's gonna be easy to get 2 out of this. So I'll do a there. Then so for the second mark, I'm just gonna be a little bit past my 2-foot mark to account for the perf I'm gonna lose when I cut this board. One line. 2 line. Got 2 lines. You come over here, come back. Close. That seems to be about perfect. Recover piece. You come back. Then... Okay, that's pretty close. Oh boy. This thing loves throwing cedar sawdust at my face, so. Scrap bucket. And that's project piece, so. That is... Now, it's not terribly consistent, but that also doesn't... It's fine, essentially. Because we're just building a holder. We're just building a holding rack for clamps. Actually, let me go back to my plans. I want to make sure I'm just not missing anything, because... Yeah, I'm not... I'm gonna have to eventually cut the cleats for the back. I'm gonna have to eventually cut that piece out, but I'll wait until I actually have, like, the main thing of the thing built. So we can turn power off. Because I can at least somewhat attempt to believe in safety. Okay, so where do we want to go next? I think... it's time to figure out our layout lines here for our slots. So I am making this a little bit bigger because the plans hold 4 clamps. I want these to hold 6. So I'm gonna have a 1/2-inch gap on these. So mark my board. Find all my 1/2-inch. There. 1, 5. Okay. That. Oh, I gotta ignore one of my marks because I accidentally made one mark. And then gotta be 2 inches. There. They're better. No inspiration. Actually. Oh. Oh, just. I mean, technically speaking, if I was actually building a lot of these, I could probably template this, but I'm not building a lot. I'm building 2. I might, who knows? I might build a 3rd at some point, but I'm not going to entirely commit to that just now. So that's going to be 1 marked out. So now we get to mark out the next one. Now for the next one, I am going to make my life a little bit easier here. So I've got 2 2-inch marks, one near the top, one near the bottom. And then I'm going to get the square out. Put it on marks. And I now have it's faint, but there is a 2-inch line on this now, so. So with that 2-inch line, come in with my tape measure. Half. 3. 4.5. 6. 7.5. 9. And 10.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Huh. Okay. Well. Half inch, half inch, half inch. Oh, okay. Well, I would have. So I gotta remove So the spacing between the slots was supposed to be half inch with a 3/8 slot. So that's like a 2-inch spacing. So it kind of foobarred my spacing here. And the thing is, since I'm... And the issue is I actually should probably fix this, which is easy because... There, fresh side. But... Yeah, one of the issues when you're working with cedar is cedar's brittle. It's a very brittle wood. So I kind of want to do a better job with making sure there's like enough material to support the clamps. Because funny enough, the chisel holder I built, yeah, the first one actually had one of the, it actually broke, and I actually had to make a second one. Just because cedar is just such a, it's a brittle wood. Great for outdoor projects, but it's brittle. And I'm just using cedar for this project because, well, unfortunately, I'm just sitting on a pile of it. And there's a 2-inch line. But now what I want to do is I want to do a 2-inch spacing. So... And that's going to give me 6 slots. 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, because if I use a 2. Damn it. So if I use a perfect 2, then I only have 5 slots. Whereas I end up with... I want 6. 3/4, because if I go 1 3/4 for my center, Oh, okay. Okay, okay. I know what's going on now. So I misinterpreted the plans. Because originally I thought these boards being 9 inches holds 4 clamps. Well, if I need to hold 2 additional clamps, I just need to go up to 12 inches. I would actually need to go longer. 12 actually just gets me 5 clamps, but honestly 5's fine. 5 will be fine. You're there. You're here. Two-inch mark. Grab you. Handy dandy strip. And that's our 2-inch line. That's going to be the depth. Now we need to figure out where we want to plot. But yeah, this is what happens when I always try to interpret the plan. Usually I misinterpret something, but I mean, that's honestly fine. I mean, I just end up with like 1 less clamp of storage because I was kind of wanting to future-proof it a little bit by going to 6. But 5's going to be fine. And also, these plans call for some backing material that is 1/4 plywood. And I just happen to have these 2 pieces of 1/4 that's pretty much perfect for this project, so I probably would have kept the dimensions the same anyway, just so I could use those pieces of 1/4 plywood. So we got 10 holes marked out. We gotta do some hole drilling. With one of my favorite tools. So, let's get things off table saw. Because table saw's going, well, table saw's just going off to the side. Off to the side with you. Gotta make room for a new contender. And the new contender, which right now is in the lead for the one tool I have that I don't use enough, and that's drill press Kun. Do not use my drill press enough. Yeah. Oh wait, I can also lower this too. I can lower the table. Wait. Still need to think about mine. Just gotta think about. I can lower it a couple. I can lower it a little bit, not a lot. Down. And then we'll tighten you back up. I presume I'm gonna tighten you up. Oh, there it is. There, I feel it. Get some water. Stay hydrated. Because staying hydrated is what lets you drink. So I think the plans call for 3/8 holes. Well, yeah, it's a 3/8 slot, so I want a 3/8 hole. I'm ruined. I drove 35 minutes to the mall to return sneakers, forgot my wallet, which I need for the return. No! 2 a.m. brain failed me. Oh no. That's rough, man. Two AM brain is not good brain. Because I think my brain's not doing too hot right now, but it's currently my brain's at least functional capacity. Nice tight. Yep. And since I had this set up for cedar earlier, and also since these are pretty small holes, don't really need much. Don't need a lot of like actual like holding. Also, I'm literally using a 3/8 Fastener bit. Like, this is a small bit. So let's get our power going. Ooh. What? Okay, let's see. And remember, whenever you're working with cedar, always have a backboard, because cedar will just chip out terribly. It's like this is like so much of working with cedar is dealing with the disadvantages of cedar, and a lot of that is it's brittle. It's just a really brittle material. But it makes very pretty shavings. Okay. Go. That's hole 2. Three. Four. And that's 5. Tried to catch on 5. But yeah. Still get a little bit of chip out on it, but really nothing terrible. But yeah. That's holes. It's holes drilled. I'm gonna sip some tea, and then we'll do it for our second piece. Open. Why did... Oh, that actually did not go through. I felt like it went deep enough. That was close. It's really close. Stuart Little splitting bars for a second there. Yeah. Oh man, that's an old movie. One more. Woo! And there we go. Holes drilled. I love you, man. Honestly, I think one of the big reasons why I actually wanted to build a French cleat wall was just because so many of the projects in a French cleat wall involve using a drill press, and I've basically been dying to use this more. So, been great. Been a lot of fun being able to use this tool. Granted, I just also feel like I just need... also just need to do more projects, I guess. But Fastener bits are so nice. Yeah! Oh, and with Fastener bits, you can like... with Fastener bits and some chisels, you can machine wood. You could CNC wood, essentially. Most people usually don't go that crazy. I don't go that crazy, but it is an option. And actually, wait a second. Do I have big Fastener bits? 1 second. But yeah, those Fastener bits were actually really nice buy. I think I bought those from Cat Moses' shop. And then they were even on sale. So I'm just gonna put that guy over there. And since we're done with this, it goes away. Granted, I love that cart that I built for it. That cart is so nice. Okay. There's... so we're returning back to the table saw. Again. Because... we have holes. However, though, we, more importantly, need slots. So... I need to basically extend this hole outward. And then I have this fun guy for that. But I need to... I want to measure and mark out my slots before I get too squirrely. gosh. Dumb question. Dumb question. Are you 3? Ah, that would have made my... Ooh, wait. Do I have something else that's 3/8 though? If I just had something that was like 3/8 in material thickness, that would be perfect. Yeah, that's 1/4 ply. I might just have to go with... Ooh, might just have to go with... Might just have to be square about this. I think I'm gonna just have to be square about this. Come up to the edge of my circle. Hide the circle. And then that's going to be my slot. Well, sorry. That's going to be my slot. That. Here. There. And there. So there we go. 10 lines. 10 lines, 5 holes. We make slots. Slots aplenty. Probably. You guys a little bit further in. Go. Oh man. And there we go. That's things marked. Oh no. My tea's nearly done. I have to replenish that. Okay. Oh, okay. Hell, only got down to like 100 degrees. So that means it will not be too long, and I will have tea. So I should be able to have the time to set these guys up. So... And also, why did I do that? Ugh. My clamps ended up on the other side of the world. Ooh. Ah! Come on. Go. Ah. Let's see here. Yep. If you don't have enough body parts, just enlist the help of other body parts. There we go. So, that keeps that reasonably held. And actually, I'm going to bring you guys down. And then back up. There you go. Ooh. Aha! Get you guys a nice view. I think my water got a little too warm. Woo! Oh no. Steamed my glasses. Expecting steamed glasses to be on the menu, but here we are. We want to cut that with a little bit of regular water, just because of how toasty it is. Okay. Now it's time for some just good old-fashioned ball work. Now I just have to cut straight. Like, I need to do. There it is. Need to engage the caster. I see loosening clamp. Okay. Well, I still can't cut. I can't really cut straight with the pole saw, but it will be fine. Actually, when I want to do a test. Oh, look at that! Oh, that's gonna fit wonderfully. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Let's just keep on keeping them. Woo! Okay, that turned out a lot better. So... But my clamp came undone. Let's just go. Probably gonna have to just actually check these every cut. Okay. I'm getting attacked by black flies. No! Not the black flies. Oh gosh. That's a sign of summer. That's a terrible sign of summer. Ooh, really curved on that guy. Okay. Gotta kind of reposition you guys. Gotta get some room. Woo! Ah. There we go. Woo! Okay, one more cut to finish this out. Aw, don't make me get the chisel. I grab a chisel. It's making me grab a chisel. I don't wanna. Yep. There we go. It's wretchedly imperfect, but you know what? That just also makes it a lot more like me. But you know what? At the end of the day, it will hold clamps. That's what we want. We want clamps. I need clamp storage, but at least it looks like I'm consistently inconsistent. At least as far as my saw discipline. Good thing I'm not trying to build any like temples. I can only imagine how badly I would get yelled at. Ooh. Oh yeah. But you know what? Holds clamps perfectly well. So, before we get into cutting our next piece, I have been doing a fair amount of the consumings of the teas. I gotta hit the little homesteader's room and I'll be right back here after a few. Okay. Back. I'm ready to get this project going once more. Come here. Rock. Well, let's see if I can be a little bit more fortunate with mine. Because the thing is I really want the clamps on the edge. Because then the clamps don't get in the way of the saw. Whereas if I were to have like clamps like down here, kind of get in the way of the saw. And I see I've also put a bunch of stuff behind me. Behind my model light. Oh. Probably should loosen it. Get that nice and tightened up. Nice. Not going anywhere. And now, back to more hand tool action. Because that's what Dad's old shop likes. And I also just don't want to bust out my jigsaw. Ah. I should probably brought this board up a little. Yeah. I need to bring this up. Because my saw was starting to eat into the top of the table saw stand. It's not gonna take much. Just needs to get a little bit higher up so that way. Because when your holes are a little bit too close to the workbench, the top kind of tends to want to cut into it a little bit. Just because of how the tool saw cuts. And once again, off the mark, but off the mark's fine for my workshop because it's fine. Some light cuts. Two down, three to go. Whoop. Here we go. Uh-oh. Woo! Oh man. Disconnecting and reconnecting. Yep. Man, I just keep getting like really badly off, but hey, guess what? I'm gonna hold clamp. It's gonna hold clamp good. Because not only do we wish for clamp held, but we also want clamp held good. You know, we want that little bit of extra. Whew. Man. Really regret. I got the garage door cracked open for mitigating the effects of all the sawdust I'm making, but it's also letting warm air into the garage. And things are going to get warm here soon. Like, it's gonna hit like the upper 80s here today. And unlike Mr. Spock, I'm not getting attacked by flies, but I've noticed a few flies make their way into the shop. And it's like, I don't like flies. At least they're not biting me. The ones that bite me are like, those are the ones where it literally bites. Gosh, horseflies just eat you up. Some days. Okay. So, I'm gonna bring this back up. And I think we can work on assembling. So, what I want to do is get you. Actually, we might. I don't know. This feels optimistic, but I'm a blindly optimistic person. Well, I'm optimistic to a fault. Bucket of scraps. Bucket of scraps. Please move. Please move. Need to get to my drill. Do some buildings. But you know what? Time keeps ticking forward. It's gonna eventually be noon. And when it's noon, that means I can have a brewski. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. So for assemblage on this, I'm gonna be going with 1.5" screws. So these are my preferred means of attaching your Torx to. It is my preferred means for attaching this 3/4 material together, because that's the thickness on these boards. These are 3/4 boards. Let's throw that in there. So check, make sure everything feels flush. And we're going to pre-drill 2 holes. And with 2 holes pre-drilled, grab our bit. One weed plant looks like a male. That's the only dragon X plant I had. Well, actually, wait a second. I'm pretty sure with marijuana, you guys smoke the flowers, right? Or do you guys also smoke like the leaves? Because I don't know. I have never consumed the marijuanas. I have joined Team Alcohol, and Team Alcohol is just where I'm at when it comes to vices. I want this to be level-ish. This. Makes it a lot easier when I'm like trying to apply force, which is essentially what I'm doing when I'm drilling. I'm applying force down on. There we go. Unless you're doing genetics. Okay, okay. I thought that was the case. Because I remember I had a family member at an event once upon a time, and said family member was a retired postal worker. Well, he was a retired postal worker. He got bored. So he decided this. So he was like, you know what? I'm bored. I have all the time in the world. Let's pick up smoking weed again. And he got some weed and was like, whoa, this is too much. He was really complaining about how, like, the newer stuff is quite strong and wasn't exactly up to his liking. Incredible use of free will. What, just choosing to smoke weed? Like, the way he told it, my dad would say the same thing. Just choosing retirement hobbies? Yeah. Except in my case, I'm already locked into my retirement hobbies. Like, if I was retired, I'd still basically be doing this. I would also be doing a lot more volunteering. Because all the cool old men who are retired, they all get together on Wednesdays and they do volunteering. And I can't do volunteering on Wednesdays because I work. Because I have to earn an income. Go low and slow when trying weed. Yeah. I mean, I actually have friends I could, like, go to. And talk about it, but, I mean, honestly, like, the thing is I hang around fire pits enough, and I have enough smoke going into my lungs, and I don't want to add to it, especially when I do my cardio exercises, because when I'm doing bicycling, and I'm really getting my cardio in, holy smokes, I really feel the fact that I grew up in a household where my parents smoked. Secondhand smoke is, oof. Who knows what I'll find interesting in retirement. Hopefully I'll be dealing with grandkids. Ooh, dealing with grandkiddos. Oh man, you can just spoil them to all hell and back and then drop them off at the parents and be like, here you go. They're your problem now. The amount I smoke with comatose and horrible person. Oh man. Edible solves the smoking problem. True, true. You know what? If I was to try weed, I would probably go the edible route. Give them fun stuff like fireworks. Teach the grandkids the fun of that which we had in old. Oh, man. I still... Shucks, I need to... Because my niece and nephew is 7 years old, niece is 3 right now. Fireworks and booze, and I'm not giving kiddos booze. Fireworks, yes. Lighters, yes. Knives, pocket knives. Oh yeah, you gotta have a good pocket knife on you. Especially if you're like going outside and doing like outside fun. Gotta have a pocket knife. But I generally can't wait until the niece and nephew get older and I can actually like take them places to do stuff. That's gonna be real fun. I've already decided for the niece. She loves climbing. She is a climbing machine. Like, I actually threw her on a... Gosh. Was it last year? Yeah, it was like last year. I just put her on... I just, like, picked her up and put her on, like, a standard ladder that I had on the side of my sister's house, because her dryer vent was... I didn't understand how that dryer vent was getting air through it. So I threw a ladder up and I cleaned the dryer vent. And she was looking at the ladder and she was interested in the ladder. So I just picked her up and put her on the ladder. Just like the first basic run of the ladder. Yeah, she literally just started taking off and climbing the ladder. It's like, oh yeah. They used to call it grape water back in the day. Well, they called it grape water because, gosh, what was it called? It was called like glow. Wine glow. Yeah, it was wine glow. It was a dehydrated brick of grape juice that you could take, add it to a thing of water, stir it in, add some yeast to it, and then you can make wine. It was actually a way to get around Prohibition, because Prohibition made... So when Prohibition made alcohol illegal, a whole bunch of people were just like, well, I guess I just have to make it myself. And generally speaking, most people, well, most of like the Prohibition enforcers, they actually didn't even really care about the home users, because like, if you're just making alcohol for yourself and drinking it at home, you're not a threat to society. Because I think there was actually a U.S. senator during that time who, in showcasing the silliness of Prohibition, took a homebrewed beer, went out in public and with like reporters and such, and there was a cop walking by, and he asked the cop, "Hey, I'm drinking a beer. Do you want to arrest me?" The cop just looked at him and said, "No, you're just a guy drinking a beer." Like, Prohibition was like nigh enforceable. And because it was really hard to enforce, is kind of one of the biggest reasons why it really failed. Okay, how do I want to do this? Yeah, just flip it over. I like to flip it overs. We'll just do the good old flip it over strategy. Oh, this is gonna be exciting. So, I do have myself a really gnarly knot here, so that's gonna just... how do I put this? It's gonna just add a little bit of excitement to what I'm doing. It's gonna make it a little bit more interesting. Okay. Woo! That drill bit complained a little bit about going through that knot, but otherwise, it took it reasonably well. Oh, let's get bad boys in. Yeah, that drill had to really say something about that knot. If you try to entice households about alcohol use, it makes the government look real bad, so it didn't make sense to. Yeah. Well, it's also just like, oh, enforce it. Yeah. That's it. I'm breaking out the Ramonian weed. Well, okay. That actually sounds fancy. Oh man, Mr. Spock's busting out the fancy weed today. Must be There we go. There we go. That's nicely lined up. Man, guys, I think I'm making a box. Looks very box-like. Oh, that's just not. There it is. Granted, that's also the thing with woodworking. Woodworking is just making boxes. Everything is boxes. Except this is a box that's going to go on a wall. Okay, that was an opinion. I almost feel like I could have probably stepped up the size of the drill bit. I was using the pre-drill, but... Guys, look! It's a box! Box-shaped object. Got about 1.5, 2 pounds left from last year. Oh, okay. Nice. So. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we just barely cleared it. So if we're keeping like the head of the clamp in there, it's actually gonna look real nice. It's gonna be nice. Right, and this was actually like, this was a really good, like, fun morning project. Very chill, relaxing, not swinging around 8-foot boards, knocking stuff off walls. Doesn't particularly matter. Be flush on the back because the back's gonna get a piece of plywood here and there. That's after I get this attached, it's gonna be getting the plywood on there. Man. I would also like to, and speaking of like prohibition and stuff, once again, thank you, Jimmy Carter, for making homebrewing legal. That is why we have so much good craft beer here in America nowadays. Sucks. Speaking of good beer and family stories, my grandma's brother, also down to about 300 plus grams of X-Men push. Oh dearie. Man, they come up with some wild... They come up with wild names for weed, but you know what? The same thing applies to a lot of other plants. Like, just like stuff, even stuff you would like grow in your garden. But yeah, my grandma's brother, he served in the armed forces. And then when he came back home to Missouri, he was able to drink beer in Germany because I think he was 20, but he couldn't get beer here. So he would have my grandma, his sister, go to the liquor store and get a beer. So, and every time my grandma went to the liquor store, she would get a different beer. And eventually the liquor store guy was like, "What are you doing?" And then my grandma was just like, "Yeah, I'm just buying beer for my brother, and he wants he wants beer like what he had in Germany." And the liquor store guy was like, "Honey, you're not gonna find that here." And now we actually have good beer. I mean, shucks, I actually, yeah, I just bottled the Kolsch. I just made German beer. Good old German beer. Granted, at some point, because I know my next beer is going to be my English Golden Ale that I do every summer, spring. But I really need to get around to brewing a Hefeweizen, so... Hopefully... Let's see. Next weekend? Maybe next weekend. Maybe next weekend I'll make beer. Because I'm going to have to turn around that beer pretty quickly to get to the point where I can actually... Because I need to get it brewed, bottled. Because if I start next weekend, I'm going to look at a calendar. If I do it next weekend, that'll be the 23rd. So that, well, okay, if I do it the 23rd, it'll get bottled on the 6th of June. So then it will be sometime in June when I'll be able to do the Hefeweizen. So that seems reasonable to me. Oh, now there is a downside to this piece of plywood, and the downside to the piece of the plywood is it's a little bit smaller and a little bit shorter than what I have going on here. But we can still plenty work with it. I'm probably going to do 2 screws here, 1 on each side. Bring you guys over a bit more. And I'll probably do 2 in the top. I want to see, and since we're just doing 3/4, well, it's actually quarter plywood. I'm going to go to 1.25" screws for attaching that. Then I'm going to just check my plans and see what they suggest. Yeah, basically what I was thinking. And I'm not sure why the plans actually call for this piece of plywood. I think it's fine with an open back. I mean, honestly, the cleat's gonna cover up the back. But, whatever. Because this plywood's just stuff I have lying around. I certainly have no problem whatsoever using up materials I already have. Ooh! Pinched out 4 exactly. But will that drive that? Nope, it won't. Different size. Okie dokie. I need a smaller size. 1 smaller size. And that is a T20. There's a T20. And that goes over the theirs. That goes in there. And screw install time. Oh! Grooves and drops. That. Find it? Ooh! Yes. Yes! Screw has been found. Screws have been installed. Plywood's been installed. I mean, it does look nice on the inside. I will say it does kind of help add a nice finish touch to it. Even if I don't necessarily agree with it being 100% necessary. Here. Lined up how I want you. Then we'll get our holes drilled. We'll get real close to the end of this project. Whew. Okay. Let me grab some screws. It's 3, but I'll do start. There we go. One more. And there we go. Ah! There's flies in the shop. I don't know why my shop attracts flies, but there's always flies in the shop. I wonder if it's because of the beer. Damn bastards trying to steal my beer. So, where's my plans? So, the plans do call for a piece of covering plywood to go on top, which I presume is just to hide the screws. But honestly, the wood grain's pretty. I mean, it's pretty on this one. Not so pretty on... reasonable. Reasonable. But I'm not going to be hiding... I'm not going to be hiding all that. So, we basically have this part done, and then we just have the back cleat to... Just gotta get ourselves Cleat. Install it. Ooh. Some of those screws aren't like super flush. I want to flush those screws. Okay. So, I gotta grab myself some Cleat. Over here. There. Ooh, this is exciting. What shall I do today? 1. Finish mowing the lawn. 2. Haul horse poop and mix soil for the huge plant boxes. 3. Cut down bush and work on shed. 4. Transplant some tomatoes and pepper plants. 5. Work on moped. I would say number 4 is a pretty solid option. Shucks, I've still got my peppers I need to get in the ground. I've been very delayed with getting my peppers in the ground. Because the sooner you get those peppers in the ground, then the sooner they'll get growing, they'll get established, and you'll have peppers and tomatoes, which are great. Great for salad, salsa, Mexican food. Sweet, sweet, glorious Mexican food. But I would say that's probably the thing to work on. For me, my afternoon's going to be spent with my friend. He wants to go thrifting, so we're going to be doing some thrifting. I'm going to double check mine. Okay, yeah, it's 1 foot. So we're going to need 1 foot of this. So we're going to do some thrifting with him. I've got to also do some strategizing, if you will. I'm consulting with him on a mini computer for a project, which that project was already looking to be pretty expensive, and now that I'm adding a mini computer to it, it's making the project even more expensive. So we're going to kind of see what the final price tag comes in at. But if we get a reasonable game plan thrown together, then I'm going to be spending a lot of money today. But it's also fun to spend a lot of money. So that's going to be one of the back cleats. I need to measure out for one more. But yeah, other than it being like pretty warm this afternoon, it should be a pretty good evening for me. I'm not liking the fact that it's getting into the 80s because the weather has been like chill, kind of on the cool side. Granted, it's going to cool down later this upcoming week. Or, yeah, 5 smoke weed while mowing the lawn. Hey, you know what, Mr. Spock? It's your life. You can decide what you want to do with it. That is a privilege afforded to all of us who have to deal with life and its various BS. Is that at the end of the day, we can still choose what we want to do with this thing called life. So, we are done with this material. And we got cleats. Oh. I'm joking. I'm going to try some of them. Okay. I mean, people can drink beer while they mow the lawn. Why can't you smoke weed while mowing the lawn? It's kind of my thought process. So, and the process for putting this together is I think I want to be a hair bit short of the top, but I am going to also consult with instructions, but... Ah, okay. They actually had this going through the top. Okay. That tells me where they actually want it. They actually want it like flush up here. And also did all four. And let's see. Oh, I want to go. I actually have options. And that's a terrible thing to have options. So I want to avoid screws I already have in here. So I'm probably going to pre-drill a little bit closer on the inside. Need to do a better job about keeping you guys in the view, man. But they're going to be kind of a little bit closer to the center versus further out to the side. But the plans do call for 2-inch screws, and I don't have them nearby. So, now I got to, I think, mow the lawn, transplant plants, then cut down the bush, maybe horse manure, then moped engine. Okay. Sounds like a plan and sounds like a good time. Actually, you know what? Bumpkiss. We're gonna go with Torx. Really low on my... Getting real low on 2-inch screws. I use a lot of 2-inch screws for projects. Oh, there you are. Drill bit. Drill bit. So we're gonna be about there. I hope. Yeah, just don't want to hit the screw on the inside. Translation, look, then there's Bright Eyes. Oh no, Mr. Bright Eyes. Oh, that felt like I... That second one. I got real close to the screw, so I'm gonna come. A little bit further in for that one. Okay. I wonder if these will benefit from a larger hole. Possibly. It's a consideration. Oh yeah, that's also another thing. I think they are... Yeah, I think that's why that was doing that. Yeah. Because my 1/8 drill bit doesn't go deep enough. So basically when it got to the end of the pilot hole... Ooh. Man, that's off kilter. Oh, we can't have off kilter. We gotta fix that. Good. That where it's flush. And then I have to drill another hole. Because that is the correct way to do it, is you gotta drill another hole at this point. Friday follows me around when I mow. She likes all the bugs. Ah. Well, Mr. Spot kicks up the bugs, and then Bright Eyes takes advantage. I see. Yeah, that's good. Woo! And with that, that's the first one done. Yay! Actually, wait a second. Wait a second. Oh no, guys. It's happened. We're in the afternoon hours. Actually, wait a second. No, let's get the other one. Yeah, wait. Yeah, there you are. So. Time for a Dos Equis. Cheers. Man. Yep. Dos Equis is just a solid lager. Super solid. Okay. Go over there. Victim number 2. Yummy beer. Yes. Yes, indeed, Mr. Spock. Yummy beer. Now, since I kind of sort of got a little bit on my screws, so I'm lining up this roughly, and then I'm marking where my screws fall. That way, when I go to put all this together, I can see what I'm doing. And also, I should probably make it easier for me to see what I'm doing by having it facing towards me. Who would have thought of that? So, since I should be able to dodge a screw going there, And 2. And Mikita-kun asserts dominance once more. Woo! Are they making the liquor store bigger? Oh, they're making the liquor store big. Maybe they'll bring back the Dos Equis. Woo! Hell yeah, bigger liquor store. Actually, granted, also, you Canadians got rid of so much of your bourbon. You should have more room for beer then, if you got rid of the bourbon. Because I remember seeing all the news articles about the bourbon being pulled from shelves, and I see those news articles because, well, I'm from Kentucky, so, like, so many, like, people are like, oh no, the Canadians aren't drinking bourbon anymore. And it's like, honestly, I don't care. I mean, certain aspects of the circumstances suck, but it's kind of getting into, thou shall not talk about it territory, but as far as I'm concerned, they don't sell Red Stripe anymore either. I hope they bring that back. My friend's a big fan of Red Stripe. So, we've got 2 completed things. So, how do I want to do this? How do I wish to do this? Here's the French cleat wall. Actually, I know what I'll do. So, you guys can go look and you guys can stare at pegboard for a while. Grab number 2. Grab some amps. Yeah. These guys. Oh, Fetty the Spaghetti. Doogie, hi, good to see you today. Hopefully your Sunday's going well. Yes! Yes. Oh. Here comes the magic reveal. So, there it is. There's the clamp, storage holder, in its natural habitat. Also, I have good beer for, well, post project, and also it's the afternoon. So that's one more project on the French cleat wall. Now, let's see. Let's give ourselves a bit of a turn. As we can see, it looks good. Great job. Ah, thank you. So, still tons of empty space. Also, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to leave those clamps there or not. The beer in Cuba is Crystal. Market leader, crisp light in beer Canero. Slightly stronger, maltier Pilsner. Ooh, I like a good Pilsner. That's good information. So, there's still lots of room for projects, things that need to happen. And I also still have like tons of plans in the magazines. For example, the next set of plans in this magazine I bought is for a glue storage rack that goes on one of these. I don't think I'm going to build that though, because I don't need room for that type of storage. I'm thinking though, my longer clamps, which are going to be is there a pointer? I have pointers. So the ones on the left, those guys, I'm really thinking I should move those down and maybe have the smaller clamps on top of them in that sort of orientation. But that's honestly like the best thing about the French cleat wall system is you can just like shuffle this stuff around really easily versus pegboard style walls. It's a little bit more work to move stuff around. Granted, also pegboard, you get a little bit more options though. In terms of like fine tuning things. So, and the whole reason I'm even building the French cleat wall, because one, it's a source of projects. Like, just getting the wall built was a stream. Then doing the clamp holders today has been a stream, and then there's going to be a lot more streams to fill all this out. And so the short wall, so just kind of a bit of a review for the game plan here, is I mostly want to do clamps and hand tool storage on the big main wall, the part that's cut in half because like, so 5.5 foot so that's 5.5 foot across by 4 feet. That was really heavy when I was trying to put it in, and after a little while of fighting it, I eventually said, Bumkiss, I have a saw, I can slice you, and I sliced it in half and made my job a lot easier in terms of installing it. And then the other wall, the short wall, that's going to be all blacksmithing tools. So that'll allow me to park all my blacksmithing tools in one spot. As you can see, we've got the forge down there, and then behind me is the wonderful cube. The cube is going to be what eventually holds the anvil. There we go. 3 joints should be enough to mow the lawn. Nice. Well, good to hear you have a plan for your day. So, my plan for the day is to eat lunch, and then go see my buddy, hang out with my buddy, do buddy things with him, have a good day. So, yeah. So, with all that, I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in today. I had a lot of fun. This was a really small but just nice chill project. So thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in. Betty the Spaghetti, Mr. Spock, and Dad's Old Shop, Haggle, all you wonderful folks. Thanks for help. Thanks for making this fun. So I'll eventually have a schedule. Next week's only going to be 2 streams because I'll be on call. So I'm going to be on call, and it's going to be the first warm month. Well, the first warm week. So we'll see how busy work ends up being. I'm a little nervous about it, but I mean, at the end of the day, things are going to be fine. But it's just like, I like my free time. But yeah, so I hope all of you have a great rest of your weekend and a great start to your week. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.